Well, 122 miles west of Houston, a Texas town declares a state of disaster. That's right, but as I found out, many say it's a welcomed fix. Breaking news out of Rockford this morning, a tanker truck has crashed on bypass 20 right near the 11th Street exit. This is a live look right now. As you can see, that truck is on its side. It was a very violent night in the city of Rockford as 2 people are now dead after 3 separate shooting scenes across the area. Sean and Kristen, you're looking at the driveway that leads up to Patricia Wilson's home. Her and her son Robert were found dead just a day ago. Take a look at this window. This is where fire crews attempted to rescue 2 men. I'm just waiting for the day that I'm watching a show that everyone else is watching. That I'm watching like the cool show going on, because
I know.
Seriously, this is another one of the shows that people have been telling me to watch.
And that you might eventually start watching,
yeah,
but always
3
like
years.
a few steps behind.
Now, I did get you a little something. Gosh. All right, I did have to eat a few of these. I'm wondering where bag fries are, because those are my favorite, honestly. You know those little guys that
yes.
You think you're all done, and then you find them under your napkin?
It's like the surprise French fry.
It's like the gold little nuggets. Well, we want to know from you. These fries look good, by the way. I think these are the regular fries, if you're wondering. So. Sean and Kristen, good evening. Take a look. This is the driveway leading up to the last home that James Hodgkinson lived in. Police found a baby that was in a stolen vehicle in California. Officials say the baby's mother went to pick up food at a Chipotle and left her newborn inside of a car. The drone's work, though, isn't done just yet. Officials then sent it back in the air to search for evidence. Santa made the way all the way from the North Pole to be here.
He did.
Earlier today, he said I was on the naughty list, but he said if enough gifts come in today, then I'll be on the good list. So
help Elliot out.
I'll have an update for you guys later in our show, so hopefully I'll be back in the good list. Snyder says he was shot around 7 o'clock Saturday night in the 200 block of South Independence Avenue. Snyder says he was shot once in his upper torso and was released from the hospital Saturday afternoon. He says that bullet is still inside of him and that he's just thankful to be alive. It's almost 100 years.
Almost 100
these guys,
years. So there's got to be something right about them, right?
Look at that. Just take a moment there. That is beautiful. Okay, so there's a way to eat these, though, correct?
There is a way to eat them. You can eat them however you like, and don't smush it like...
The Rockford Community and Police Department are now in mourning after one of its own is killed in the line of duty.
Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea says Officer Jamie Cox was killed early Sunday morning after an incident during a traffic stop. Yeah, during a press conference at police headquarters on Sunday, Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea says Officer Cox made a traffic stop in the area of East State Street and Dawn Avenue. That was just after 1 o'clock Sunday morning. During that traffic stop, Chief O'Shea says an Officer Cox struggled with the victim and became entangled with the vehicle. A short time later, Cox made a brief radio transmission indicating he needed some assistance. Officers then responded to that area and found a single vehicle crash about 2 blocks north of that original stop. Police say Officer Cox was in critical condition. The driver of that vehicle, 49-year-old Eddie Patterson, also died on Sunday and is now considered a suspect in the death of Officer Cox. That's according to Chief O'Shea. Chief O'Shea says at some point during the struggle, Officer Cox fired his gun. Patterson was found dead inside that vehicle when other officers arrived at the scene. The cause of death for both Officer Cox and Patterson has not yet been released, and Chief O'Shea says the entire incident is under investigation by the Integrity Task Force. Officer Cox was on the police force in Rockford for just less than a year. This is video from December 2016.
At a news conference yesterday, Rockford's mayor and police chief spoke about how officers and the city are now responding to this news. Well, it's been nearly 2 decades since a Rockford police officer on the force had been killed. That officer was 38-year-old Detective Kevin Rice. Back in 2001, Rice was shot 6 times in the chest while investigating suspicious activity in his sister's neighborhood. He was off duty at the time. Rice left behind a wife and 3 children. Police arrested William Buck, who was 19 at the time. He is now serving 60 years in prison for that murder.
And it was less than 2 months ago. Another local law enforcement officer was...
I'm afraid it's going to fall in someday if they don't take care of it.
Melvin Lundstrom has lived next to this bridge since the early 70s. He says it's been an issue from the very beginning.
The bridge should have been replaced a long time ago.
Right in the heart of Loves Park on East Riverside, just east of North 2nd Street, lies this small bridge that even city experts say has been a big headache for years.
It's deteriorated over the years and needs attention.
An estimated 30,000 cars drive on this bridge every day alone. Dan Jacobson, Director of Public Works and Development for Loves Park, says the actual structure of the bridge isn't unsafe. However, the size has caused some problems.
It's striped actually to go down to 2 lanes of traffic, but everyone uses it as 4 lanes, so it gets a little close. When vehicles, especially large trucks.
Even while shooting this story, most cars I saw drive on the bridge did not truly merge like the traffic signs suggest to do. And Melvin says he's seen many cars even crash into the rails because it's too congested. But that will soon change.
We will be widening the new structure, and it will allow actually true 4 lanes.
The City of Loves Park will shut down an entire 1/8 of a mile stretch on Riverside starting sometime in late June. It's all to build a brand new $1.6 million bridge. That construction could last until late fall, meaning no traffic on this busy stretch of road for a couple of months.
It's a regional roadway of significance, so carries traffic throughout the region, and so this is really an important project.
But Melvin says he can deal with a few months of frustration after 4 decades of worry. It's around 1 o'clock, Sunday, June 24th. Fire crews are called to this large vacant building in downtown Rockford. It's the old Hanley Furniture Building. Flames are now shooting from several stories as the blaze quickly grows out of control, and smoke seen from miles away. Rockford Fire is on the scene within minutes. But on this day, they're not just fighting from the ground. Today, they're taking to the sky. This small aircraft doesn't shoot water. It doesn't even spread fire retardant. But this drone does provide key information to commanders on scene.
To check fire conditions, fire hot spots, the stability of the structure, how much of the roof has been intact and how much is left to burn.
Valuable information that told crews where they needed to point their hoses and from where, without risking lives. In this case, they were worried about the north wall collapsing.
And can make some decisions maybe a little bit faster because now you have a whole 360 view from the top down.
The drone's work, though, isn't done just yet. Officials then sent it back in the air to search for evidence.
In this case, the drone was able to go right up to the windows inside the collapse zone and take pictures. With the roof being burned off, it was able to get down inside the building a little bit and also document the point of origin from that way as well. That's something that an investigator would have never been able to do.
Helping them find more evidence and sooner.
We're just getting started, we're just getting our feet wet.
Fire Lieutenant Trevor Hogan says the department hopes to license more pilots, so if needed, every search and rescue team can be equipped with a drone.
Drones have saved lives, especially in search and rescue attempts.
For your Digging Deeper station, I'm Elliot Grandia, 13 News.